Good evening, Facebook world, powerful parents and teachers, aunties and uncles and grandparents and babysitters, and everyone out there who has a genuine interest on the influence they have on children's lives. Welcome to this broadcast. As you join the line, do me a favor. I love to know that you're here. Please say hi or tell me where you're from. Hello there, Marianne. You're first one on the line tonight. Hi there, everyone. I see you joining. Hey there, Alex. Hello, Sky. All right, let's get started. I'm going to get started straight away tonight. I've got an appointment after this, so we... Hello there, Mr. English. Now, over the next couple of weeks or few weeks, I want to cover the what not to say series. We've covered a lot on what to say, what language to use. But over the next few weeks, I now want to help everyone. Hey there, Lauren and Lucy. And now I want to help everyone with what language to remove. Not just language to add, but now language to remove from our vocabulary. Language that creates distance between us and our children rather than a closer connection. Language that can cause and create distrust rather than building, stronger trust. And language that promotes responsibility. Rather than, relying on us and things like that. So over the next few weeks, we're now talking about what not to say. And tonight, we're covering the said way too often, myself included, the whole we'll see. Mum, can we go to the park tomorrow? Oh, we'll see. Mum, can I have these 4 friends at my birthday for a sleepover? Well, we'll see. For those of you who are teachers, I'm sure your class asks you, can we do this or can I do that? And you're like, oh, well, we'll see. Now, you can't change what you don't acknowledge. So hands up, all you parents out there, how many of you are guilty of this? It's like, yeah, we'll see. Yeah? Everyone, right? Hello there, Ms. Bree. It's good to see you here. So let me explain to you why this language is not good to use and why I believe you need to be very conscious at removing it from your vocabulary. Now, here's the thing. The words... Hello there, everyone. Great to see you. The words "will see" really only it just delays it delays a problem that we have in our lives and passes it on to our children. So what happens is, let's be honest, the whole reason we use the words "will see" is probably and most likely because the answer's no. But as a parent, or as a teacher or whatever, we can't be bothered with the response we're going to get when they hear that answer. So what we're trying to do is delay that answer, to leave it out there in the future that somehow it'll magically work itself out so that we don't have to say what we really want to say and then have to go through dealing with the child's disappointment and the child's response to that, correct? That's really why we use the language "will see." All we're trying to do is delay an outcome. But what we do in that moment, the potential outcome of the answer is going to be a problem to us. So what we're doing is we're delaying our problem and passing it on to the child, because now the child is left completely powerless and helpless as to how they can get a response. They can't control this outcome. In their mind, it's something they want or something that might be important to them, or at the very least, they deserve the respect and the courtesy to kind of know where things are at. And as soon as we're in the "will see," we haven't said no, we haven't said yes. They basically haven't got an answer from us to a question that they want an answer to. They haven't got an answer from us, and they don't even know when they'll get the answer. It just leaves them very powerless, okay? And so if you're out there and you want to really raise children who own their power and who are, confident and, and also who are resilient, who can accept the answer no or disappointment. If you want to raise a child who can deal with disappointment, guess how you produce that child? By giving them so much practice at handling that emotion. So the other thing is we're delaying life lessons to them just to try to keep life convenient for us. It's convenient for me to say "we'll see" right now because I don't want to deal with the wrath that you'll give me when I let you know the answer's no. And so what happens is, this can produce anxiety in children. Some of you out there with kids that have anxiety, I'm not saying this is the sole cause of it, but I 100% guarantee and telling you it adds to their anxiety, because anxiety is where you just feel like you can't control your own world. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what the next thing is. You don't know how to be prepared for it. Now, in a minute is something else that I will cover on a different night, and that's definitely one of the What Not to Say series topics. So, anxiety and feelings of powerlessness basically flow from the uncertainty of that situation and from the inability of the child to do anything about it. So when you can, use words and use language as parents and teachers that immediately defines the situation. If the answer is no, say no. Say it boldly, say it with a full stop, not a no because, just say no. And just think to yourself, it's my responsibility as your parent, not just to love you, but to lead you, to prepare you for life without me. And there's going to be a whole lot of people that say no to you. Your girlfriends and boyfriends are going to say no to you. You know, you're going to ask someone out and they'll say no. You're going to go for a job or go for a business loan or something and they'll say no. And so I want to give you so much practice at handling that emotion that you can handle that like a boss, because life is full of no's, and so it doesn't need explanations. You know, the bank doesn't give you an explanation when it declines your credit card application sometimes, or the person you ask out, sometimes that's just the answer is no. You don't get a chance to get the explanation. So be bold and say no. Or sometimes, now stay on the line because I'm getting to an important part here, or sometimes what they're asking for genuinely needs you need time to process that and to think about that. So say that. We want to build trust with our children, right? And so by saying something like, you know what, you've never asked me that before. That's something I'm going to need to have a think about. Check in with me at the end of time and I'll give you my answer on that. Or it might be something like, that's a decision I'm not willing to make by myself. I'd like to have a talk to Daddy about that. So I'll have a talk with Daddy about that tonight and I'll let you know in the morning. If I haven't told you by the time we get in the car, remind me on the way to school. So you give them some responsibility. So the child still hasn't got an answer to their question, but they know when they're going to get an answer. So it gives them some hope, and it's kind of like this whole process is in play at least. It's kind of just not fobbed off, okay? So they're still in a situation of power, and then they're also responsible. Now they're in a position of power to come back and remind you, Mum, have you got, what was your answer? Or did you think about it, or whatever it might be? It could be something like, oh, Mum, can I go to this friend's house? And it could be like, you know what? I haven't met their parents yet and I would like to meet their parents before I let you go to their house. So the answer is no at the moment, but here's what we'll do. Maybe we can make a time, and maybe I can come into class and maybe meet their parent, or maybe we can make a time to catch up kind of at a playground or something one day first, and then after we've met all together, then I'll be open to letting you go to the house. So give them real reasons for why you're delaying this response or for why you can't give them an answer right now. Okay, but don't just go, we'll see. It creates distance between you and them. It makes them feel powerless. It can increase anxiety and distrust. So the other thing is, when you have said, yep, I'll think about that, or, I'm going to need to really consider that, I'm going to really need to have a think about that, I'll let you know at this time, then if you want to really build closeness and more trust with your children, you've got to deliver on time. You've got to really make sure you have thought about that and you're ready to deliver that answer. Now, there are situations where it is a really good thing to be able to kind of go back and explain to them why you needed time to think about it sometimes. So in that moment, be strong and be bold and just say, hey, I'll think about that and I'll let you know, all right? And then validate them for that. Validate them for that process afterwards, okay? So let's say you've said, I'll let you know tomorrow morning, or check in with me at bedtime and I'll give you an answer on that, or whatever it might be. Then they ask you at bedtime, you give them the answer, whatever it is you've come up with. And then at that point, validate them. So you know what? I also wanted to acknowledge you on how you handled that situation today, because I know that was a situation that you would have liked me to say yes to straight away. And I know that sometimes it's really annoying to have to wait for something you really want. And so I really appreciate how you handled all those emotions that go through us when we have to wait on things and when we want something right now and we have to delay our gratification. And then use it as a chance to talk about, delayed gratification, which is an incredible life skill and a wealth principle. So all those things. So it gives you a chance later by not saying, we'll see, and by saying, you know what, I'm not sure, or just no, or yes, whatever, just be real, but give them the real answer. And that's a moment for you to be conscious as a parent and go and, and again, be real. Sometimes the truth is, I know the answer is no, but I do not want to deal with the no right now. So I'll say to the kids something like, no, I need to think about it. You know what? That's something I'm not willing to discuss at the moment, but I'll tell you what, we'll have a discussion on that tomorrow. Ask me again tomorrow when I pick you up from school, and I'm happy to have our discussion about that then, but not right now. So I haven't said I'll think about it. There is no thinking about it. I don't need to think about this. I already know what my answer is, but I'm not willing to discuss that now. Okay? So, because you know what else you're teaching your kids? You're teaching them to be able to do this. You're teaching them to own these skills. When it comes time when they're teenagers and, their friend says, oh, hey, can I drive your car home from school? Instead of them going, oh, we'll see, and delaying. It's like they can be real. Or anything to do with boyfriends and girlfriends or friendships or, when they get to the point where they're not even just in jobs and in workplaces, guys, but also just in in leadership positions, in sport, and anything, you're teaching them those skills as well. So that is my tip for tonight. I'm going to keep these short over the next few weeks. The what not to say series. Okay, be real about them, and have a conscious moment as a parent or as a teacher or a babysitter or a grandparent, whatever you are, yourself. In that moment where you catch yourself, you're like, oh my gosh, I was just about to say we'll see, or oops, I did say we'll see, or and I know there's no we'll see about this. What you're doing right now is delaying the response that you don't want to have to deal with. And then you're delaying your own growth. You're passing your problem onto them. Now it's not your problem because you don't have to deal with it right now, but you've passed a problem onto them because now they've got a problem because now they're in a state of uncertainty and they have to wait on your answer, and they're powerless in being able to get the answer or make you come up with an answer on any kind of time frame. So they're just like sitting in limbo world. Yeah. And so now the problem's theirs. We've passed a problem onto them, and we've also escaped one of our own lessons. And sometimes that's why it keeps coming back at us, because we keep missing the lesson. So just ask yourself, okay, why don't I want to deal with this now? What is this triggering in me? Is it because of where we are and I have a fear of judgment? And when I say no, she's going to crack it. And when she cracks it, I don't want everyone looking at me. It doesn't mean you do it now, but just be conscious of that. Just go, what is it in me that doesn't want to deal with this now? You learn so much. I tell you, our children choose us. They don't just come, I believe they come through us, but they're not from us. It's a whole nother topic, but they choose us. And they choose us because we are the parents that are perfect to give them the lessons that they're coming here for their expansion, that they're coming to this human experience for, and that the perfect people to give us the lessons that we need on our journey while we're here. And that's why they choose us, okay? So, what do you say here, Lauren? Love that, did I say I'll talk to Dad and... Yeah, cool, give it, yeah, beautiful, Lauren. Thanks for being open about your situations. Everyone would be the same. Oh, I'll talk to Dad. And now we're passing the problem on to the husband or to the other partner. Oh, I'll talk to Dad. And now, if the answer is no, it's Dad's fault, because it's like you never said no, but after we talk to Dad, the answer is no, so now it's Dad's fault, so now Dad cops it. So, yeah, be real about it. And that just breeds closeness, and it breeds trust, and it also takes a little bit of chaos out of your life, and it teaches your kids some incredible life skills. So as I always say, don't ever leave here the same person, the same parent, the same teacher you were when you got here. Make sure something changes in you, not just here on Facebook Live, but with anything you do. Don't ever leave anywhere the same person you were when you got there. Keep yourself changing and evolving and growing and being aware and being conscious all the time. And it's not easy to do that. It definitely takes a whole lot of courage. So as you leave here tonight, depart from here with courage. The courage to believe in a better way. There is one. The courage to voice what you've got to say. The courage to thrive when times are tough. And above all else, the courage to know you are good enough. Good night, everyone. By the way, I just thought of something. Next week, the topic is going to be, what was I going to do? Because I wanted to promote this. Tag everyone make sure everyone's on next week. It's going to be awesome. Next week, the topic is going to be, why did you do that? We say to kids, why did you do that? Why did you say that? please be on next week for the benefit of your children. Tell all your friends, clear their plans at 9 p.m. next Adelaide time next Tuesday night, and be on live, because as well as an incredible topic that really transforms your family and shifts the way you raise your children, in addition to that, I'm going to be giving away a free parenting coaching session, so only for those who are on live. So please promote that. I really want to get that message out there. So it's going to be on why did you do that? Why not to say, why did you do that? Good night, everyone.